Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a little project which will read characters in a file. So we're going to start off by creating a function called read chars or read characters here. And then we're going to do an error handler called try. So if we have any errors here when we're changing path, this will catch them. So we create a variable here called path and we assign it to input. So we get the user to enter the path into here. So the user will enter the path into there. Then we use the OS module, os.chdr, to change the path. And if we get an error there, we can use this error exception. Exception as E. Okay, and then we can print the error message. We'll interpolate into it what the error message was. So E occurred. Okay, and then we're going to print another message. Print please try again. So if there's an error, I'm going to tell the user to try again, and then we're just going to go back up to this read characters to try again if there's an error. Okay, let's just test that. So read chars. Here we're just going to save that. We're just going to run it. Okay, let's type in something that's an error. Let's make an error. So C. Yeah, that should throw an error. And there we go, there's the error handler that's taken care of that. System cannot find a specified C. Okay, so that's working, we know that's working. There, so let's carry on down and just push this down a little bit here. Let's create the... I'm going to go into here and we're going to ask the user create a variable here called filename. We'll assign that to input, and this will simply ask the user to enter a file name. So the user will enter a file name in there. And then we're going to create another variable called num chars, number of characters. We'll assign this to int, which is integer, because we're going to enter a number into there, input. So we need the int, the integer, to handle it. Enter number of chars to read. So enter the number of characters to read here. And then we're going to come down here. So if os.path.exists here, and the file name, so we're checking if the file name exists first, and if it does exist, we're going to print out a message to the user. We're going to format it with the F string here, so to interpolate into it the file name. So file name exists. Okay, and when we do that, we're going to do a little pause here, time.sleep. Remember to import these modules into your program like I've done up there. So I've imported the OS module, imported the time module there. So time.sleep, we're going to pause the program for a second, make it look like it's actually working. So we're going to open the file now. So with open, and then the file name that we typed in. So we have to type in the full file name. So I'm going to be opening some txt file. So the full file name is going to be whatever it is .txt file name, and then we use the R flag here to read as file object. And then we're going to create another variable here called contents, and we're going to assign that to the file object. Dot read. Okay, and then we're going to pass it the argument of the number of characters that we entered before, number of chars. So it's going to read that number that we've entered into. So if it's 10 characters we've entered 10, value of 10, it's going to read 10 characters in the file. Then it's going to print them out. So we use print contents. Okay, so we've nearly finished here. So all we need is a bit of an error handler here. So, and we're going to go back here for the error handler, which is going to be else. Okay, and if it doesn't exist, we're just going to tell the user print file name. Whoops. File name doesn't exist. Right, okay, that should take care of that. Let's just save it. Let's just go down here. Of course, we're going to call it by typing in read chars there. So we're going to call it, we're just going to save it. And I've got a txt on my desktop that I'm going to read. So let's just run this. Hopefully there's no typos. So we're going to go C users mark desktop. So that's where I want to be on my desktop. So enter a file name. I think it's called content.txt. Hit enter. Number of characters I want to read. I want to read 5 characters. Okay, so it exists, and we've read 5 characters. Let's just have a look at that. Let's just run it again. Okay, let's give it more characters next time. So we've got C users mark desktop. Hit enter. Okay, let's give it 100 characters this time. Oh dear. Oh dear. So made a mistake there. So there we go. I've made a mistake, and I've not done an error handler here. So we're going to have a problem. So I deliberately didn't put the error handler in for that. I could have done it, but it's going to be more code. So let's run it again, and let's do it properly this time. So let's do it properly this time. So we've got C users mark desktop. Hit enter. Enter a file name. So it's going to be content.txt. Okay, let's do 80 there. And content exists, yeah. And there you go. That's the content that we've been printing out from the file. So there you go. Bob's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie. I hope you enjoyed that little program. And remember, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the subscription button below. And I'll catch you in another video. Bye-bye.